Many people waited overnight to get their hands on one of these booklets, which contains 52 breakfast sandwich coupons valued at about $250. As soon as the anthropologists are finished examining the bodies, all 6 remains will be moved to this cemetery. For Wolfpack Week, I'm Travis Wallgren. I'm standing here in front of the entrance to the Nevada Living Learning Community, where next semester's incoming freshmen will be the first to experience this new combination of living and learning. Reporting for Wolfpack Week, I'm Travis Wallgren. I'm standing here inside what will soon be the new media newsroom, which students were hoping would be completed already, but after a few setbacks, it won't be completed until the end of the semester. Welcome back to Nevada News. On this week's Reno Edge, our A&E segment, we're going to be exploring offerings at the Nevada Museum of Art and the Livestock Events Center. But first, a touring poetry show made its way to the JCSU Theater recently, and local spoken word fans got to experience a truly one-of-a-kind verbal magic. Ian Sorensen tells us more. If you've been on campus recently, you've probably noticed that the brand new dorm hall is nearing completion. This new building that seems like it sprung up overnight is more than just another residence hall. Residential Facilities Manager Bill Jaques has been planning and overseeing this project from the very beginning, and he's excited to present this new living learning community to the campus.
It is grouping like students together, like journalism students or women in science and engineering, so they have an opportunity to interact, live together, take the same classes together.
But as with any construction project, this unique new building comes at a price. So where's the funding coming from? Rising tuition is always a concern for students, but as Terry Galvin, the Assistant Director for Residential Life, explains, the construction of this dorm has no impact on tuition costs.
The money for the residence hall is primarily coming from student fees for students who live in housing. So the rent that we charge, the housing charges is what will pay for the building of this building.
Another concern students have had for years is parking. You may wonder if the destruction of one parking lot and the addition of a residence hall will create even more headaches for students looking for places to park. But the facilities manager is quick to point out that he's not worried about limited parking spaces.
The Sierra Street garage right now is not utilized to its max. If you ever have an opportunity to go up on the upper floors, there's always usually plenty of spaces up there. The Whalen garage is hardly ever full at night. So there's opportunities for parking around.
With these worries out of the way, the focus can stay on this unique residence hall and how it can improve student efficiency.
The GPAs within those communities are higher. This year, our average GPA for our students in our living learning communities was a 3.2.
I'm standing here in front of the entrance to the Nevada Living Learning Community, where next semester's incoming freshmen will be the first to experience this new combination of living and learning. Reporting for Wolfpack Week, I'm Travis Wallgren. Black Friday. It's the gunshot that signals the beginning of the holiday shopping season. Every big retail store has to prepare for the hundreds of customers lining up overnight to get their hands on the best deals.
It's kind of hectic, especially for the opening. We had people wrapped around at our other doors, wrapped all the way around the other side of the store. So as soon as we opened, people were grabbing carts, running for our TVs. Within about half an hour, we were sold out of 2 full pallets full of TVs.
TVs were one of the biggest sellers over the weekend. Other products that sold well were washers and dryers, video games like the Kinect, and cameras.
Within the first 3 seconds, of us being open, we actually sold out of all our hot sellers, our doorbusters from the front page. And we had plenty of quantity in stock, and yet we were still pretty much sold out within the first minute.
With limited products and so many people eager to pounce on the hot deals, plenty of customers are bound to be disappointed. It may be the season to be jolly, but some shoppers lose that holiday cheer in the battle to buy.
Last year we actually had a couple of grandmas fight in the parking lot. As much as that seems like a joke, it really isn't. We had a couple of them fight and we had to call the cops and stuff.
Scuffles aside, Black Friday seemed to be a huge success for both retailers and consumers.
So it's the kickoff for our sales, and for the consumer, it's the best time for them to buy. They get the most out of buying with us. They get the biggest discounts, and especially with all the solutions we give them.
While Black Friday itself may be over, many retailers will still have big deals going on throughout the holiday season. For Wolfpack Week, I'm Travis Wallgren. Construction workers were digging here behind Canada Hall 2 weeks ago when they uncovered a casket that could be over 100 years old. This may sound crazy, but the origin of the body is no mystery. The land the university purchased there in 1963 was previously a Catholic cemetery. Of course, it was thought that all the bodies had been properly transported to a new cemetery, but somehow not all were moved. I spoke with University Police Commander Todd Renwick, and here's what he had to say on the matter.
Looking at some aerial photos, it was somewhat clear that there was a tree where these coffins sat at one time, and it could be that they just overlooked that area. We have a pretty good idea that most of these bodies were buried in the early 30s, which would be understandable that somehow they fell off the map. Don't quite know how that happened, but we know that they weren't exhumed and relocated.
5 more bodies were discovered once digging resumed a few days later, but construction will continue, with spotters keeping an eye out for any more graves. As for the bodies, anthropologists are examining the remains at Walton Funeral Homes until they can be given a proper burial again. As soon as the anthropologists are finished examining the bodies, all 6 remains will be moved to this cemetery. For Wolfpack Week, I'm Travis Wallgren.